my grandmother was Mary Damon. For both of us to be on the wall, it's definitely an honor. If I could be half the woman that she was, I'd be happy with that because she was pretty remarkable and incredible. So for our pictures to be side by side and to show that is pretty humbling. We are here in Virginia Beach at the Virginia Beach Volunteer Rescue Squad, Rescue 14. Here, because this is where I got my start for volunteering, this building was dedicated to the spirit of volunteerism in the city of Virginia Beach being the largest volunteer rescue squad organization in the country. It speaks to who people are here and why people give back to the community day in and day out. I started here as a volunteer in 2006 and volunteered for 7 years, and I got hired in March of 2013 as a career paramedic with the city of Virginia Beach. My current role today is I am a EMS captain in charge of the east half of the city, and I oversee some of the marine assets within the department as well. So this is my grandmother in 1942. She was an Army surgical nurse that followed behind the front lines in World War II.
June 6th, D-Day. First American soldiers hit the beach.
D-Day for her, most of the medical staff were all held back, so it wasn't until June 9th, which was D-Day 3, that she actually, in her platoon, landed on Omaha Beach.
All along the beaches they wait. As the fighting develops, every means is used to hasten the removal of the wounded from the scene of battle.
She actually volunteered to join the surgical group that went into D-Day. So she was not originally signed to that group, and they were looking for nurses and doctors that would step up and kind of join this separate group. And she did, and they gave her every ultimatum saying, hey, we don't know if you're going to survive, we don't know if you're going to make it out of there, and she still stepped up to the challenge. She was a very active woman up until she passed away at 93 years old. She still lived on her own, she still drove, and she still had as much gumption and moxie as she did when she was much younger. So her legacy to me is to, never give up, never stop, never slow down, and never grow old. My story starts here because my grandmother was a huge part of my life growing up. She passed away in 2007. Sadly enough, I was actually on duty the day that she passed away, and I responded to her cardiac arrest while on the ambulance. That was one of those days. I was young. I was 19 at the time, and I had only been in EMS for just over a year, and I didn't really know if I was going to continue in this field. I didn't know if I could after that, but it took some really good mentors and really good people that had my back and kind of pushed me to keep doing this field and doing what I do. The service was pretty much something that was born and bred into me, and something that was not going to be negotiable for me as I grew older. It's so good to see you guys. Hi. How are you, sweetie? We are meeting the Bodwin family, Tim, Liz, and Jared, their son Jared. So in December of 2017, Jared had an unfortunate accident where he actually shot himself in the face underneath his chin and came out of his forehead along his hairline. At the time, he was 14 years old. You're gonna make me cry.
No tears. No tears.
Quite a difference, isn't it? Yep.
Daddy,
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I will be okay, I promise. At the time, I was the second person on scene behind the fire engine, actually here, engine 16. We were carrying Jared out. He was still awake and talking to us at the time when we got there. So we picked him up, and I remember saying his name over and over again. And he looked at me and told him my name and told him to stay with us, get him down to the ambulance, and definitely in critical condition. Mom and Dad actually showed up on scene as we were loading Jared into the ambulance, and they definitely had, you know, some freak out moments and wanted to try to get to their son, which didn't go over well because I was the bearer of bad news that would not let them in the ambulance to see their son because they didn't need to see him that way.
This is where I got yelled at.
That was me. That was me. That was me. It was me. I yelled at Mom. I did. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, because she was trying to get into the ambulance.
She came in, she was in charge of the EMS team that came through, and at the house, he responded to her. She yelled his name, he answered.
But it turned out just fine. Yep.
She made the decision to go to the right place. She stayed in the emergency room and fought for him when the doctors were saying, I think this kid is gone. She stayed there beyond her job and said, this kid's responding, this kid's still here. You guys save this kid, fight for him. She saved our son's life. That's what she did.
Yeah, it worked out perfect. The doctors had told the Beaudoin family at the time that the decisions that apparently I had made on scene was what saved his life.
She's remarkable. She goes out of her way, on and off the job, to help our family, help other families. She's just an amazing person.
3D CT scan.
Wow.
So that's his skull now.
That's now.
Yeah.
This is all the nuts and bolts holding
Wow.
his skull together.
Unclear at the time of what the reason was why, and still to this day we're kind of trying to figure out the reason why. Mostly people realized that he was probably being bullied pretty badly. The bullying connection resonated a lot with me because growing up I was bullied all through school. I have been the same height that I am now since the age of 12. Growing up in that facet of being bullied and then going to someone's aid that was being bullied really hit home for me because I want Jared and I wanted anybody else in this world to understand that it will get better and your life will improve. And a lot of it comes down to mentors and, you know, people that you have in your life that are influential, like my grandmother, that, you know, pushed me to realize to hold your head high and be strong and be independent and be fearless. Whether you're in middle school or high school or going through a rough time, it's such a small part of your life and it doesn't define you, and you will be okay. And the fact that Jared has made a complete recovery to the point that he has absolutely no deficits after all of this is a miracle. I mean, it's nothing short than a miracle. Keep kicking butt in school.
Keep it off.
Do it. Keep getting honor rolls.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram.
I will.
One class. Brett is a huge reminder that you have to ignore the bullies and that you're bigger and stronger than them. She's stronger than any bully and has helped our son and our family in amazing ways.